Hey everyone, welcome back to the Broken Made Bold podcast. My name is Philip.
And I'm Stefania.
And today marks episode 2 of the Broken Made Bold podcast.
We're so glad that you came back if you were here for the first week. And if you're here for the first time, we're so happy that you found us. As Philip said, this is episode 2. So we are brand new to our podcast. It is brand new to the world. And I feel like we got really, really deep last week. It was a really good time. I was so surprised at how easy it was to podcast for the first time.
Yeah.
I think we were both nervous about that. But here we are. We made it through another week. How are you? How are you feeling?
Man, I feel like a lot has happened in the last week. But I'm feeling good. Feels good to be back in our little home studio here.
In the basement.
Feels great. But yeah, how about you? How are you feeling?
I am tired, but I am optimistic.
Okay. That's a lot.
Like a lot has happened in the past week, just in our personal lives. And it just feels nice to have made it another week. I was listening today to I Made It by Kane. It's like one of my favorite songs right now. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to I Made It by the band Kane. So incredible. But it's been on repeat in my head. And that's how I feel today. Like I made it. I made it through more than I thought that I would. Yeah. And here we are. So just happy to be here.
Yeah. Shoot. So
Life update.
Let's do life updates. So I guess I'll start. So if you don't already know, I left the government a couple months ago. I felt like the Lord was calling me away into something new. And just before the shutdown, I had a job opportunity and I got it. And then when the government shut down, it put everything on pause because it was a contract position. And then a week later, or a couple weeks later, I got another job opportunity and interviewed for that one. And I was hoping to hear back yesterday. Everything seemed really, really good, really optimistic. And today, I don't know. It's kind of like uncertain at this point. So then today I was like, well, we don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, it's really our first month without both of our incomes. Now we're just on mine, and it was what we had was just enough to cover our rent for this month. And our bank account hit zero this morning, and that was a very sobering moment for us.
Yeah, I mean, we have a savings, but I usually don't like to tap into that if I don't have to. Emergencies only. So today I decided I'm just going to be a DoorDash driver. So that was an easy screening, and I had to go through. It took like 10 minutes.
Then we hit the road.
And I tried it out for the first time. Made a little bit of money.
Yeah, but I brought the snacks and the waters and.
Yeah, so it was definitely interesting. I think I'll just have to learn like the times and everything, like when peak times are, and like scheduling that out. Just trying to make some extra cash here and there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because in a way it reminded me of when we first got married, when we were commuting to work and we were spending like 4 hours a day in the car together between, going to and from work, and just getting to spend time together, listening to music together, people watching. And I don't know, it was kind of nice, but it's definitely uncharted territory for us because there is so much uncertainty with our finances right now. And just with when you're going to hear back about your job and what that's going to look like at the end of the month when we have to pay rent again, like at the end of November.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, because I was able to pay rent early. Thank the Lord. We got paid just before rent was due. So I told my landlord, I was like, hey, I'm going to pay early, and because we had the money.
And thank God we did.
Thank God we did. So like we've been like very cautious with our money for a little while, but like
because we knew this was coming.
But It came really fast, for sure.
It really did. And we were really hopeful because you did get that job.
Yeah.
And we were not anticipating the government shutdown and that, like, you would have already been working by now.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw a wrench in our plans. And it's funny because that's how God works, right? We make our own plans and we think we know where we're going, what we're doing, what's next. And then, life happens. Yeah. And God's like, are you going to trust me through this? And this has been a huge exercise in trust. And I know we talked about that a lot last week with our pregnancy loss stories and how that really made us lean into our trust in God. But this last month has really come down to the wire where it's like, we know that your last federal paycheck was coming in on a certain date. And after that, it was uncertain. And now we're in that period of uncertainty. Yeah. And it's the time for us to really buckle down and say, we're trusting that God's going to provide.
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah. So it's scary, but like everything in the back of my head is always like, God's going to provide. The timing will happen. Yeah. And no matter what, it'll work out.
Yeah.
And we just have to, remain faithful. So
absolutely.
But if you're in the Northern Virginia area, I might deliver something to you. Who knows?
Who knows? You might sing me in the car.
Yeah. Singing along to some Daddy Yankee Christian music.
Can we talk about Daddy Yankee for 2 seconds?
Yes, please.
So I grew up knowing Daddy Yankee. I'm Latina. Daddy Yankee is the king of reggaeton music.
It's like, who hasn't heard of Daddy Yankee?
The king of I feel party music. And even if you didn't party, I didn't party, but I went to homecoming in high school. So everyone knew Gasolina, at least. But now he's turned his life around.
Yeah, I think it's such an amazing thing. You don't really see huge celebrities do that shift like that. I thought it was amazing because he literally is the face of reggaeton. He's one of probably the most popular Latin artists of all time. And you just don't. I love that a celebrity is out there just professing his faith. And then what was so good, because he retired, and then he put out a couple songs here and there. And I was always like, man, I really hope he makes a Christian album. I think that'd be so cool to just I think it's just everything can be transformed. Mm-hmm. You look at reggaeton and just a lot of Latin music and
just party music in general. It's not wholesome.
It's not wholesome at all. So to see someone, and I'll say this, a lot of people, little tangent, sorry, but a lot of people in the youth, right, especially in America, some people know Spanish. A lot of people don't know Spanish. So they listen to it because they love the beat. Mm-hmm. And reggaeton is one of those things that people just love the beat to dance to.
Absolutely.
And so what's cool is that now you're going to have people hopefully going and wanting to dance, and it's actually something wholesome, and they don't really know. And I think that's such a cool conversation starter possibly.
Yeah.
In the Latin community.
And even if, I really like the song, I'm going to look it up, I'm going to translate it. What does it mean?
Right.
And Daddy Yankee's entire new album is the story of the Bible and the story of his spiritual redemption and how he's changed his life, and now encouraging people to go and find God and have their lives radically changed. Yeah. So that's been really cool. So we listened to the album a couple times in the car today.
Yeah,
it's way too good. Yeah. Go listen to Daddy Yankee's new album. You'll be very pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely.
It is definitely a fun, danceable album for the whole family. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, there's not going to be anything inappropriate on this album. Right. And it's so encouraging because he has such a huge platform. He has so many followers on social media, so many monthly listeners on Spotify, and he is using every single second on his platforms to turn it around to Jesus and how his life has radically changed, and he's not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
So super cool. But little side tangent there. Yeah. But speaking about music, so I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I've been live streaming multiple nights a week.
Oh yeah. If you don't know, she's a up and coming rising Christian artist. So go ahead, talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm starting to write my own music, and I'm starting to share it on social media. And it's been really scary for me because I started writing music in March of this year. So I don't have a lot of experience, but I have a lot of life experiences. So the music that I'm writing is directly tied to things that are going on in my life. They're very personal songs. So for me, sharing my music has been a scary hurdle to overcome because it just feels so vulnerable. And I'm singing about things that are still like some wounds that are inside of me and some tender spots, but it also feels really strange to share a song with other people and be like, those are my words. I came up with this melody. I really hope it doesn't suck. So it's been, and I've gotten really good feedback, which is really encouraging. I had a couple people on my live stream on, I don't remember if it was Monday or Thursday, but one of my TikTok lives, somebody said, you should sing this song at church. And I was like, well, that's really encouraging. If somebody's hearing something that I wrote and they can picture singing that song in a worship service at church, that is, I mean, that's amazing because that's my goal. Like I want to write Christian music. That's what I'm writing. But I would love to write songs that could be used in a worship service that churches could sing. So that was really encouraging feedback. But navigating the social media aspect of everything has been a lot. And it's been this whole year, right? Like I've been working on this for most of this year. I was excited because I hit 2 milestones. So I hit my first 1,000 followers on Instagram and my first 2,000 on TikTok. So that was really exciting. And those might sound like really small numbers, but as somebody who's starting out, who nobody knows, and I don't have music on any platforms, like you can't go find me on Spotify, to have like a handful of, a couple thousand people who are interested enough to follow me and say, hey, I like how you sound. I'll stick around. Like the way that I thought about it, and I wrote this on social media. I said, I'm celebrating, 1,000 people or 2,000 people following me on this platform, because imagine like me sitting in my house, just singing songs that I'm writing or just singing worship songs that I love. And then like 1,000 people showing up to sing with me, like 1,000 people coming to worship with me, because that's what my accounts are about. Like they're not about me, they're about glorifying God, and all the music that I'm singing on there glorifies God, and it's all an act of worship. So that was really cool, and I was really encouraged, which is great because I've had a lot of mental ups and downs surrounding social media. You've seen me have a couple of breakdowns just over creating a 30-second video to post on TikTok. And it should not be that serious, but when the TikTok algorithm or the Instagram algorithm decides it doesn't like you one day and you get 5 views on something you spent 3 hours putting together, it's really frustrating because unfortunately for the music industry, those numbers do matter. So if you're listening and you want to help support my music, please go find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm on Facebook, and just give me some likes. Watch my videos. Those numbers unfortunately do matter and make or break whether or not I'm going to keep going on this path.
Yeah, the record labels really don't kind of look at you until you're around 10,000.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to build up those numbers and, just spread the gospel, but spread the gospel to more people. Hopefully they follow, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, and that leads back to, why we're doing what we're doing. I'm doing my music because I want to share my story and I want to share my testimony and to glorify God and help at least one person to hear my song and say, you know what, I need to look to God because XYZ is happening in my life. This is inspiring because whatever's happening. And so that's why we're sitting here and doing this.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody has their own story. And what's so cool is that there's a lot of Christian artists out there, but like not everybody goes through the same thing. Everybody has their own unique story, their own unique way of looking at things.
Yeah.
That it might resonate with somebody more than someone else who's already in the Christian industry. And so everybody has their own way and their own flavor. And so I think that's really cool. Like you're bringing your own flavor to it, which I think is really awesome. And I think you're going to, once we get to that point, you're definitely going to hit a lot of heartstrings. So,
thank you.
So hopefully fingers crossed next year.
Hopefully next year we're at a place That is very promising.
Yes.
So, but that's been my life. I mean, my 9 to 5 has been impacted with the government shutdown, but fortunately, thank the Lord, I'm still getting my paycheck because I'm a contractor. So my paycheck hasn't been held up, but I still have to log into work every day. And that has just come with its own struggles because our federal staff is not in the office. And as contractors, we can't make decisions on behalf of the government. So our work, what we outlined before the shutdown that we said we could do without government oversight, we've already run out of tasks. So trying to just find a reason to be around every day at work and having to justify it with, because we have to fill out daily telework logs and say, yeah, I worked 8 hours and this is what I did for 8 hours when there's no one in the office, is getting really difficult. So pray for Philip with his job situation, and pray for him out on the road door dashing right now. This is a temporary situation, but we're being faithful and we're trying to stay optimistic.
Absolutely.
Pray for me and my mental health with all of this music, social media mess, and the mess that I'm in with work. And it's
a lot. It's a lot for sure. But it'll all work out.
Yeah.
So.
But that brings us back here to the podcast. So.
Well, I was going to say a little bit of positive note though, right? What are we doing at the end of the week?
Oh my gosh. What are we doing? Okay. Today's date is Wednesday, October 29th. And let me tell you that this man, my amazing husband, on Tuesday, October 28th, took out all of our Christmas decorations and has categorized and staged them all for when?
The day after Halloween. So Saturday. Yeah, we're super excited.
We're so excited.
I have my own little like social media ministry, I guess, called The Husband Life. So go check that out for husbands if you're interested. But yesterday I posted like a little monologue, like a little tangent. My wife thought it was really funny. I was in the living room and I just went on this tangent because I tend to do that late at night. And she
That's why we filmed the podcast that night.
Yes. And so she just filmed me and I posted it and I thought it was hilarious. But I talked about how a lot of people will do Christmas, they'll do Thanksgiving, and then they'll take everything out traditionally and then do Christmas decorations the day after Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then, but I always told the story. I was like, that's what I used to do. But when COVID happened, like it was crazy. Like everybody was stuck inside and I was living on my own at that point. I just wanted to be happy. And so I was like, I'm miserable. I don't want to wait till the end of the month, like the end of November to do Christmas. So I moved it up to the day after Halloween. Haven't changed it since. She loves it. I love it. Our Christmas is our favorite time of year. This place looks like a winter wonderland.
It's truly magical.
It's magical. So
so excited for Saturday.
So excited for Saturday. Guys, if your wife wants to do this, just let her do it. And you reap all the benefits anyway, to some degree. I know you probably have to help out if you're, but and if it involves hanging lights and getting on the ladder on the roof, I understand that. But afterwards, very rewarding because it's nice and cozy.
So cozy.
And you kind of just finish out the year strong and then go into the new year like with all the relaxing,
cozy vibes. And we leave our Christmas decorations up until February. So we'll get 3 solid months of cozy, magical Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we do that long. That's almost too long.
Because it's sad to take it down. Also, it's so much work. So then it's like, no, let's do it next weekend. And then it's Valentine's Day.
Well, that's another reason why, like, some people, like, I remember sometimes, like, we put up our, like, I don't think this happens very often, but we put our Christmas stuff up maybe once or twice in my life a long time ago, like a couple of weeks before Christmas, because we'd wait for my sister to come back from college to decorate. And I was so depressed.
Well, not anymore. So,
not anymore.
so yeah.
Yes, so that is exciting. Looking forward to that and our life update on a positive note.
Yes.
But yes, let's get into
the podcast. We did get some questions about our stickers on our tablets here. So let's talk about our stickers. What is on your iPad?
So on my iPad, let's see here. This is Sig Sauer. This is my gun brand. I have Chick-fil-A. It's a waffle fry. So I used to work at Chick-fil-A for like 6 years. Love Chick-fil-A. It's Lord's Chicken.
The Lord's Chicken.
But it's a waffle fry in the shape of a heart. I think it's awesome. I have a Jesus Save sticker. I have our sticker that you can buy on our website. Hint, hint, for Broken Made Bold. I also have a White Rose Resistance sticker, which is a really cool organization.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit that's spreading the word about the horrors of abortion. They're pro-life, and their mission is to create pro-life warriors in churches and equip Christians to go out and stand for life. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely go check out the White Rose Resistance. I have them on my iPad too. Love them. We've been supporting them for over a year. They have an amazing documentary that's out.
Yes.
I don't want to go off on a whole other tangent, but check them out. It'll blow your mind. They're such an amazing organization to support.
Yes. And then lastly, I have a Big Buns sticker. So Big Buns is a burger restaurant in Northern Virginia. So if you're in the Northern Virginia area and you're in the Northern Virginia area and you have not had Big Buns, I'd recommend trying it. They have burgers and shakes, and it's just great.
Their shakes are insane. You can get like massive milkshakes.
Yeah.
Like really crazy flavors. It's awesome.
Yes. So that's mine. What about you?
Mine has a little bit more going on. So I also have a White Rose sticker. I have my Dr. Vox sticker. This is because I'm a singer. So Dr. Vox is my vocal trainer, my vocal training kit. I also have a Broken Made Bold sticker, which is on my water. God is madly in love with you. This is such a great reminder. And I wanted people who watched our podcast, if they were distracted by our stickers, to get a positive message from the back of the iPads. So if you didn't know this, God loves you. Mm-hmm. Open to book recs. This is probably one of my favorite stickers on here because I am a huge reader. So if you have any book recommendations, send them to me. You can DM Broken Made Bold and or comment on this video and send me some book recommendations because I love to read and I have a wonderful husband who loves spending tons and tons of money on books for me. So yes. And then this one says, and if not, he is still good. And that one just hits home because this whole past year has been a year of not.
Yeah.
And we know that God is still good and we're still in this story. And then finally, we have Black Rifle Coffee, my favorite coffee, and I have a Hosanna Revival sticker that came with my Bible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's a really nice Bible.
And last but not least, I also have this that you might see, Fueled by Jesus and Coke Zero, because Coke Zero is my drink of choice.
Yes. Yeah, you love Coke Zero.
I don't have Coke Zero in here now. I just have water. But
yeah, very surprising. Well, cool. So those are our stickers. We might switch them out occasionally if we come across.
If you want to send us stickers, let us know.
Yeah. If you want to send us stickers, we love stickers.
We love stickers.
Yes.
So if you want to see your sticker on this iPad or on this iPad, just hit us up. We'll coordinate something.
Absolutely. Do a little business to business or just person to business or person to person.
Yeah.
Either way.
We love supporting small businesses.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Hit us up.
Yeah. So cool. Well,
what have we got today? This is episode 2. That was just the introduction. That was just us talking about our lives. Now we're going to talk about someone else's life, which is the whole reason that we're doing this podcast. Yeah. We're doing this because we want to share your stories. Mm-hmm. And we have our very first submission.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to talk about this.
It hits home for you.
It hits home because it's my dad's story. I'm so excited to share this today.
Yeah, so the title of our second episode is going to be called Citizens of Heaven, which I think is really cool as we start to like really dive into this. the way that he explained it kind of blew me away, like whole new perspective. And I just thought it was really unique, especially for a situation that he thought about that, especially like because it happened like a couple of years down the road. But I thought it was amazing for sure.
Yeah. So excited to share this. I'm going to read word for word the submission so it stays true to the original story, and then we'll discuss.
We'll discuss it, yeah.
All right. 1992 was the year I left my country, Venezuela. With mixed emotions and maybe some tears covered my eyes, leaving behind my family and wondering when I will see them again. It's been 33 years now without seeing them. My mother is 95 years old, still waiting to see me. My older brother is dying in a socialist hospital without resources. I have found peace here in the United States. I married my only love, the one that has fought uncertainties, difficulties, and the mother of my precious jewels, our 4 kids. We became U.S. citizens after our political asylum, but before that, we became real citizens of heaven in 2001 when we turned our lives around and started to walk with our Lord Jesus. We all in my
You're good.
We all in my household have become strong in the faith. God has restored our paths, given us hope, and we have become successful in everything we touch because He lives.
Wow. That gave me kind of like chills a little bit.
Right?
That's so cool.
My dad's story is so much more beyond what I just read. He has one of the most incredible stories that I have ever come across. And I said before that I love to read. I read a lot of stories.
Yeah, you do.
But one of the greatest stories that I've ever read actually comes from my family. Mm-hmm. And I won't go into all of the details. Maybe we'll have him on as a guest one day to tell his story.
That was really cool. Yeah.
His story it spans years, and there's so many topics. There's so many things. Yeah. And I feel like he is the best person to tell that story. Mm-hmm. But just this is a snapshot. You know, he left Venezuela in 1992, mm-hmm. came to this country. Mm-hmm. He didn't know English.
Yeah.
He came here and enrolled in college. Mm-hmm. My mom knew English because she spent some time of her childhood here in the United States, but she spent most of her childhood in Venezuela. So she's fluent in both. But luckily, my mom knew English. Yeah. She also enrolled with my dad. They got married in Venezuela before they moved here. And they left everything they knew behind, seeking political asylum because of some parts of my dad's story that led up to this point.
Yeah.
But having to escape a country that is everything that you know and going to a country where you have to learn everything new. Yeah. And you're living in fear that the reason that you left your country is going to come follow you and find you. I mean, that in and of itself is such a huge story, and a huge story about trusting God. And at that point, my mom was not a Christian. Mm-hmm. My dad grew up Christian. My dad believed, but they were both baptized together several years later after I was born in 2001.
Oh,
wow. But even just then, like, they took a huge leap of faith, yeah. And God saw them through so many things. Mm-hmm. And then now, I mean, I know a lot of the story because I grew up in it. I saw my parents have to face so many obstacles. My dad worked so many different jobs, and there were times where he didn't have a job, and times where we as kids, we didn't really know what was going on. Yeah. But now looking back, knowing what we're experiencing,
yeah,
just looking back and wondering, how were my parents so strong through all of that? Like, how was my dad a constant provider and always put his family first and not like absolutely break down? And on top of that, There was a year where he was laid off and he had a tumor on his spine, had to have surgery. He couldn't walk.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. And then he went and served in Afghanistan, and then he almost died in Afghanistan. A convoy that he was supposed to be in was attacked and it blew up, and a lot of people that he went over there with died in that explosion. My dad has gone through so many things, and the common theme through all of this, what I will always remember of my dad growing up, is seeing him in his office reading his little worn Bible. He has had the same Bible for so many years.
Really?
And when you look at it, like, that is a Bible that has been read. And seeing him, like, I would walk past his office sometimes and he would be praying or just reading through his Bible. And that set such an example for me, like seeing a Christian man surrendering to God and being like, I know I'm providing for my family, but you provide for us first. And no matter like what we're experiencing, you will provide. And then on top of that, it's the emotional part, because he left his whole family behind. And he hasn't seen his family in 33 years.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be hard. Like, your family left last year to South Carolina. We still see them multiple times. I mean, could you imagine having to go and then you knowing that, like, you might not see them ever again?
Ever again.
Like, 30 plus years later, you still haven't seen your mom or dad. Like, that's crazy
to
think about. And, like, I don't know, we really take what we have for granted, a lot of people, and so I think it's a good reminder that, like, not everything's guaranteed. Your situation, you might be in a cozy situation right now, might not always be like that.
Right.
And it's just that you're only going to get through those crazy things because I feel like life hits you and it hits you hard. And it hits you, and it's not like one here and then one later on down the road. It's like multiple.
It'll hit you while you're down.
Hit you while you're down, one after the other. If it's not one giant thing, it's like multiple. And just a resiliency, I feel like is a defining word of your father, is resilience. Faithful and resilient. It's crazy. I mean, he is just, he's really funny sometimes, right? He likes,
he's such a big personality.
He's a big personality. He likes to keep it light, but he's very serious as well, which most of the time very serious, but he's very traditional. He wants to take care of his family. He wants to provide, and like, he does his best, I feel like, to show you guys love through that. But he's been through so much. Like, he's had to like scrape and scratch and claw his way to where they are now. Where they are now. And I feel like when you look at somebody, you don't see that, right? You just see where they are. You see the outcome, but you don't always realize how hard they worked to get there. And actually, that kind of like, that's another thing that like kind of encourages me, and also kind of makes me like realize our situation not as bad. Like, there's that saying where people will say, if you're in a bad situation, someone has a worse situation. Same thing, if you're in a great situation, someone is in a even greater situation. So you shouldn't compare, right? But knowing that they got through all of that, we can get through anything. And like, that is such an encouragement of a story, of a testimony, just to see their life played out and everything he had to do. I mean, the fact that he came here and was sweeping floors and to do what he's doing now is crazy. He studied. He learned English.
Yeah, because if you see, if any random person, a stranger, were to see my dad, you would see someone who is well dressed, who has a good job, and has a like a decent home, has a big loving family, and you're looking at somebody who I guess is middle class, right? Comfortable, but the story that he carries, like he was working nights at Home Depot, wondering how he was going to sustain his family of 4, and now just seeing where he is now, and growing up in that and changing along with my family and all the situations that we went through. It is really inspiring because he has never lost his sight of God.
Yeah. And I would even say, though, if you're put in that situation of providing, he has probably sacrificed a lot of time with you guys because of that. And sometimes that's just the case. Like, you don't want to sacrifice that time. And I feel like you try to make sure you sacrifice as little time as possible. But in that situation, what I want to say is that I feel like guys get so caught up in the provider that they forget about being present with a family. And one thing I'll say about your dad is that though he's like a hardcore traditional provider, all that, he does not waver on the love of family. Like, he wants to be there. He wants to know what's going on. Like, he cares about his kids, and you can see that. And
he wants the best for everyone in the family, and he's going to take care of everybody. And we're seeing that now. His family is in Venezuela. Like my grandma, my aunt, well, not my aunt anymore, but my aunts and uncles in Venezuela, my cousins over there, and he's still supporting them. And the story it mentioned is one of his brothers has been hospitalized. He has cancer.
Yeah.
And we thought a few weeks ago that it was going to be the end. And we all were praying, but he pulled through. And it's scary because the situation in Venezuela is not ideal. It's a socialist country that has a lot of drawbacks. And one of those things is the healthcare and what's offered in hospitals and the type of care that he's getting. So my dad is still invested in supporting him and sending money for him to get the best care possible. He cares so deeply about family. Family has always been number one for him, and he has always prayed over us, and he's always been so encouraging in terms of our spiritual welfare.
Yeah.
He always made sure that we were at a good church that was preaching sound gospel, that was preaching the truth. He made sure that we had Bibles. He made sure that he prayed over us as a family every night. He never stopped showing that he put God as the main provider of our family, and that he was going to trust no matter what. He walked away from jobs because of situations that he was put in with no job lined up. And he walked away saying, you know what? I'm not going to go down a path that is going to lead me astray because of whatever's happening in this company. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm the main provider of the family, but I'm going to trust that God has a backup plan for me, because I knew to walk away from that.
Yeah.
He made decisions like that.
Yeah.
And he always trusted God. So reading this story and having this as our first submission is awesome.
Yeah.
Because now that we're talking it out, I wish he was here.
I know, right?
About it.
Man, he would be like, wow.
This would be a 4-hour episode. So
he would love your attention.
Absolutely.
He would love your attention.
We need to get him up here.
Yeah, right.
To film an episode with us.
Come to Northern Virginia. I know there's an office up here. You'd have to come up here sometime soon. So you should just, get on with us.
Yes. Come visit.
While you're here.
But yeah, so reading through that story, and just how encouraging it is, the one phrase that he said was so cool, and that's why we titled the Citizens of Heaven, is that he became a U.S. citizen, but most importantly became a citizen of heaven.
Yes, that's so cool. Yeah, so I have a Bible verse of that, which is really awesome. It's Philippians 3:20. It says, "But our but our citizenship is in heaven, and we eagerly await a Savior from there, the Lord Jesus Christ."
Yeah.
So that in a world of chaos, I won't get into it, but the fact that some people are just so grateful to, like, they desperately want to come to the United States, become a citizen here, just because of the freedoms and lifestyle and the ability to, like, financially to provide for your family. Much better situation than a lot of other countries. But the fact that he was like, no, like, I became a citizen of heaven because when I came here, his story took him down the road where he encountered God through all of that. I mean, our podcast is called Broken Made Bold. I mean, I don't know if he felt broken at that time, but the chaos that was going on in his life was just almost insurmountable, it feels like, for them to go through, and came out through it and found God through it. Mm-hmm. And to where he was like, no, I'm now a citizen of heaven, and I know that will be my home. Like, it's just so inspiring and so cool to see, because a lot of people would have just been grateful that they made it here, and then, all right, I'm gonna work hard and kick back.
I'm on autopilot,
and I don't just see I'm good now. Like, give me things if you can, but he worked hard, and then through it all he found God, and then after that he instilled it into his marriage and instilled it into his family.
He led his family with God first.
Yeah.
And thinking about just the phrase, like, being a citizen of heaven, like, no matter what happens here in this country, on this earth, mm-hmm. if you believe in Jesus and you know that your citizenship is in heaven, then you know that you always have a home in heaven. Mm-hmm. And like my dad, he's separated from his family. Yeah. But our prayer is that, and he's been ministering to them for a long time. Yeah. His mom has always been a believer. She is an amazing woman of God. Mm. And I only met her one time. I was very little.
Really?
And she fasted during the time that she spent with us. Yeah. Just to bring the Spirit of the Lord into our house so that we could overcome battles that we were facing at that time. And again, like, I was very, very little, but I remember her praying, and I feel that's where my dad gets it from. That's who inspired him. Mm-hmm. But he is separated from his family, and our prayer is that they are also believers.
Yeah.
And that we will see them one day in heaven.
Yeah.
And it can be really sad. So if you are in a situation where you're separated from family and you don't know when you're going to see them again. Like, I don't know if my dad ever thought that it would be 30 plus years that that would have gone by before he ever saw them again, if he was ever going to see them again.
Yeah, because especially like your grandmother, I mean, it's not like she can come here.
Yeah.
And now your uncle can't. I mean, he definitely can't come here either. All the medical.
And now with the situation in Venezuela, like, it
definitely can't go there.
Can't go there. Maybe at some point.
I hope and pray, because it's a beautiful country. But
I mean, yeah. So for people who are maybe in a similar situation, be encouraged that if you are a believer and you minister to your family, and your family also believes in Jesus, you have citizenship in heaven. You have a home where you all be reunited.
Yeah.
So it's a sad part of the story, but I mean, this place is not our home.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that my dad made it very clear with us that going to heaven is not a sad thing. Like, he always would say, like, very morbid things to us. It's like, I don't know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. Like, we're like, don't joke about that. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna be in heaven.
Yeah.
And so that's the confidence that we need to have as Christians, knowing that when I go, I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
And It reminds me of that Phil Wickham song. Now I'm just bringing all the song recommendations. Homesick for Heaven.
Man, that's amazing. So
what an emotional song. The first time I heard it, like I just got chills. I got very teary-eyed because that's something that I think a lot of Christians maybe are nervous like to talk about, because you don't want to talk about leaving your family. You don't want to talk about dying. Like talking about death is not fun.
We always joke that like, well, we always say you can't die and you can't die.
Like you're not allowed to die.
You're not allowed to die. A lot of the like, obviously we're gonna die at one time, at some point. But like, I'm always like, well, can we be married in heaven? Because like, I want to be with you. I think that's the only scary part for me, because I'm just like, well, I better be able to be in like he's creating a
like all the many rooms for us. So
we want to be in the same room, God. Same room, please.
We know that we're going to go to heaven.
Yeah.
And so that is, when I read through his story, I didn't know that he was going to submit a story.
Yeah.
But when I got the email that he did, I had an idea of what it was going to be because I knew the story. Yeah. But reading that phrase that he became a citizen of heaven and how that was so important.
Yeah.
Is so encouraging. And I think it's encouraging for anybody in any point in your life that you're in, any situation that you're in, knowing you have that confidence in Jesus, knowing where you're going to be when everything is uncertain here.
Yeah. And I would say just if you have a family member that you don't know, you know, if they're going to go there or not, just be praying for them. That's the best thing that you can do for them. It's not to talk down to them. It's not to like call them out. Minister to them as much as you can within reason, like of how much they can handle. You don't want to turn them away from God. I feel like a lot of people can be turned away with how people approach that situation.
So like pray about it.
So pray about how you should speak to them, and then also pray for them specifically. Goodness, my grandma prayed for me my whole life. I know my mom prayed for me my whole life. Didn't even know. And I'm like, thank God, because like look where I am now. But and then also like if you're not confident, I feel like so many, especially now, you have a lot of people on social media and they're all arguing like, should you do this as a Christian? Are you a real Christian? Are you a lukewarm Christian? I feel like every person's a lukewarm Christian because like we're not perfect, you know, but
like there are days where we are lukewarm. There are days when we are on fire for Jesus. And that's the goal, right? The goal is to be on fire always.
But
we're going to have our shortfalls, but to recognize them.
But like what I'm saying is like if you're worried like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to heaven or something, because you see something on social media and they're like, oh, well, you're a terrible person. Like,
because of this. Yeah.
Like, you know, don't be discouraged. Like, read your Bible, know what's true. There's going to be people who are, you know, the Bible says that people are going to come and deceive. And there's just honestly going to be people that are like not that knowledgeable in the Bible. So make sure you are in a Bible preaching church with a good pastor who is in the Word. And then, you know, if you've been saved by Jesus, you believe that he's your Savior and that you believe that he is your Lord, that he is in control of your life and that you live for him. That's all you have to do. And you'll go to heaven one day. So like,
just wake up every day, making the choice to be better than yesterday and to follow God's word.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what your dad did. That's what he still does each and every day.
At time.
One day, you know,
he always said, you know, money will come and go. He was never worried. But he knew where our souls were. And he knew that we were healthy and that we were protected. And that's all he needed to know.
Yeah.
And the next day would bring whatever the next day would bring. But he had confidence that God was going to provide.
Yeah.
And that's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Romans 8:28, God works all things. Oh my goodness. Our dog just sneezed. Bless you, girl. Oh. But Romans 8:28 says that God works all things together for the good of those who love him.
Yes.
So no matter what you're going through right now, hold on to that hope. And I know my dad did.
Yeah.
He always believed that. He always trusted that. And I know he still does. He's still trusting that.
Mm-hmm.
So things aren't perfect right now for my family, but he's always trusting that God will provide.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dad, for submitting your story and for being the very first listener Broken Made Bold submission.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much.
So now moving on. So what does this podcast look like in the future?
Yeah.
Well, we need your submissions because we want to be able to share one story every single episode. So if you're listening to this and you have a story that you feel you really need people to hear,
share it with us.
Share it with us, please.
Absolutely. We're all about, everybody has their own story, and you might not realize it might relate to somebody and help them come to Jesus and get out of whatever situation that they're in and realize, oh my gosh, I didn't think anybody went through this. I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, that's crazy. And it might inspire somebody and really light a fire in them.
Yeah.
So that's what this podcast is all about. We want to share your stories. You can do it anonymously, but definitely go to our website, submit your submissions, and we'll share it with the world. Share the gospel through your lens with the world.
Yeah. So that's our first ask. Our second ask. So these episodes, we would love to have our personal update segment at the beginning. Then we'll roll into our listener submitted stories. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, we would love to be able to answer questions that you guys submit just about anything. We'll do our best to answer them. Maybe not anything, but within the themes and the topics of this podcast.
Yeah.
And we would also love for you to send us your prayer requests and your praise report, because we don't only want to just be focusing on the brokenness. We want stories of success, or even just like a small praise report. If you don't have a big story that you want to share, but God did something amazing in your life in the last week, and you just want to share with us, like, hey, my dog was lost and we found our dog.
Yeah.
Like, we would love to share these amazing praise reports, because every good thing that happens is a blessing, no matter how small. Yeah. So submit. There are 3 things that you can submit.
Yes.
You can use our website, brokenmadebold.com, to submit your testimony story. And for our Q&A and our praise and prayer reports segments, you can just DM us. You can comment right under this video. But please get in contact with us somehow. And we would love to be able to answer your questions, pray for you, and rejoice with you in all the positive things that are happening in your life. Speaking of the prayer request segment,
yes,
I do have one.
Okay.
So when I was live on TikTok last week,
mm-hmm.
I had a new visitor to my live, somebody who did not know who I was just scrolling on TikTok. And she happened to land on my live stream, and she joined, stayed for a little bit, and then she just started talking in the chat. And I love when people join my live streams and ask me questions and just talk about life and engage with me. Mm-hmm. But during one of my songs, she asked if I could please pray for her and her husband, because they're facing some job uncertainty right now.
Yeah.
And that's something that we definitely feel we can relate to. Yeah. But also, very, very sadly enough, her husband was diagnosed with cancer, and the doctors told her that he has about 10 to 12 months. So please pray for this couple. I don't have their actual names, but this wonderful God-fearing couple who asked for prayer. Keep them in your prayers. Yeah. I am hoping that she will join another live stream in the future, and I can get an update from her. But
what's so cool is like when we pray for people, like it's okay not to know their names. God knows their names. He knows your heart. He knows what you're praying for. So he knows who you're praying for. And so definitely, I know we'll be praying for them. And then whoever sees this video, definitely be praying for them, that God can heal, deliver, and just bring peace to that family.
Absolutely. And she was still so confident in her faith. And I could tell through her comments throughout the live stream, she stayed for almost a whole hour of my stream, but her comments were so encouraging, and you could tell that she was still praising God and still rejoicing despite the battle that they're facing right now. And it's not one, but two battles. So, I mean, these are the types of prayer requests, like the types of stories, the types of comments, like please engage with us and send us your prayer requests. Like no matter what it is, we would love to share it on here and ask for our community to pray for you, and so that we can pray for you as well. But so with that, I think that's everything that we have for this week.
I think that wraps up our second week of podcasting, which is awesome.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. I mean, she's got to get me to practice on not rambling too much, but it's
I think we're doing pretty good.
I think I did better than last week.
I mean, we're just getting more comfortable. I mean, all you had was one live stream under your belt, so like you got a live stream and a podcast episode, now 2 podcast episodes. So absolutely. we're this
chugging
along.
All right.
Please remember that we have merch that you can buy that directly supports what we're doing here and can help make this a better experience for everybody involved. Philip is wearing the Broken Made Bold fall cap. Very cool. I'm wearing the Broken Made Bold hoodie. We have our stickers represented here. We also have a t-shirt that is not with us right now, but it's really cool. So please check out our store at brokenmadebold.com. It's also shoppable on Instagram and on TikTok. So the purchase of anything from our store would really help us to be able to finance this. As you can tell, we still are not operating with podcast microphones. We want this audio to be the best audio for you. And we just kind of put this all together in our basement.
I bought this like 2 weeks ago.
And it looks awesome.
No, thank you.
But if you want to know how you can support us, buy a hoodie, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, and please pray for us as we continue to share testimonies and stories of God's faithfulness. This is a ministry, so we need all the prayer that we can get as we continue on this mission that we feel God has put us on.
So thank you so much for joining us on our second week of this podcast. We hope to see you back next week with our third episode. I'm super excited to see what stories are submitted that we're going to discuss next week. So definitely get those submitted as soon as you can. So thank you so much. God bless and have a great day.